What's up, Winchendon?
Winchendon, Winchendon, Winchendon.
So, Happy New Year. Wanted to start off today by talking about what's coming up in the budget process. So, actually before that, I want to thank the DPW and the town employees that have been working hard during the various snowstorms that we've been having. I know there's a lot of challenges out there for them, and having to get up and work overnight and get up in the middle of the night and be out there in the plowing and the sanding and salting and everything. And so I really want to thank them for all the hard work that they're doing to keep these streets as clean as possible. I want to talk about the budget process and what's coming up with that. So right now we are gotten all the information from the departments about what they're looking for fiscal 27, and on the revenue side, almost half of our budget comes from the state. So we're waiting for the governor to release her version of the budget, so we'll kind of have a starting point on that. Our first pass at the budget will be Thursday, February 5th. We're going to have a tri-board meeting at Town Hall, so hopefully you'll tune into that or attend in person, so you can find out what we're looking at for the fiscal 27 budget and the challenges that that's going to bring. And then towards the end of March, we will have a final version of the budget. So in between then, we're going to have, get the different information pieces, the revenues and expenses for some of the other items, like health insurance, how much that's expected to go up. Again, the information from the state. We got our pension contribution, which unfortunately was up over 10%. Last year it went up 6%. This year it's going up even more at over 10%. So there's a lot of budget challenges again, but I really want to make sure that everyone tunes in and pays attention to what's happening as we move the process forward. So in a little bit, a lot of people had questions about their tax bills, and at the end of this broadcast, I had explained how that tax bill process works at the recent Board of Selectmen meeting. So rather than rehash it here, I figured I'd just add that to the end of this. And so it's just it's important that everyone gets involved and understands what's happening, because what's affecting us is affecting towns across the state. There's just a lot of challenges, a lot of expenses that are growing much faster than the 2.5%. So, with that, make sure you do pay attention. If people have questions, please give me a call or send an email. Come to Town Hall. Be glad to discuss it. I think it's most important that everyone understands what's happening. We are looking to do another department head meeting. We had one in October that was well received by the residents who attended. Basically, we had all of the department heads talking about what's going on in their departments, and what they're working on and some of their goals. And then we took questions from the audience, about people had, what's happening with this business, or what's happening with this. And it was a really good back and forth that the residents and the department heads thought was a good idea. The more we can do to keep the lines of communication open, I think is the better we're going to be. So take a look again. So February 5th, we're looking at for the first pass at the FY27 budget. And then at the end of March, at the last selectmen meeting, we're looking at the final version of the budget. Now, in between, obviously, we had a special town meeting in December for the fire station project, which was not approved. But we also have the school building roof and window project that'll be coming up. That will probably necessitate a special town meeting, so pay attention for that. The good thing about that project is at least that one has a 77% reimbursement. So even though it's expensive, the fact that the state will pay for 77% of it is a big help. So again, pay attention to what's happening in town and continue to ask questions, because that's how it's going to be better for everyone with a well-informed voter. So we have some video footage. I think we had some great events that happened over the last month or so, right around Christmas time and New Year's. So we thank for the people that put that together. This is the 250th birthday for the country, so we'll be looking to have some events later on this year. We're looking at hopefully somewhere around Founders Day. I think would be a good one to celebrate. Everyone else celebrates on July 4th on the birthday, but it's better if we're a little bit different than the other communities, so we hopefully can have some good celebrations there. So a lot of good things happening this year, and look forward to sharing them with you.
If I could jump in, because I've also been thinking about this and trying to boil it down to make it easier for people to understand. So there are two separate components. There's the tax levy, and then there's the valuations of the properties. Those are computed separately. So they're independent of each other. So the assessors set the tax values of all the properties. They go back, it's as of January 1st of basically the year before. So everything, the actual tax bill that came out a couple of weeks ago was based on assessed values as of January 1st of 2025. So they look at property sales of comparable sized homes. They look at alterations, additions, things that have been added to the houses. So they get all those values of the properties. On the other side, we look at the levy limit. So our levy limit was, say, about $15 million. Then you add 2.5%. Then you add new growth, which is, again, based on alterations and new buildings and everything in town. Then the $1.9 million override, and then if there was any debt exclusions that the voters had also voted on. And that becomes the tax levy limit. So you take the total valuations of all the properties in town and divide that in, and that's how you come up with the $12.69. So the values, as the values continue to grow, it could happen that the tax rate can go down. Consequently, if the values of the houses go down, the tax rate would go up. But they are independent of each other. So if people are saying, oh, they'll just raise the values of the houses and that's how you can raise the tax levy, that's not how it works. They're independent of each other. The levy can only go up a certain amount. And that's what I handed out tonight was from the Department of Revenue's website. You can go on and you can look, it's mass.gov/DLS. And you can look at each town's levy calculation each year so you can see exactly what goes into that tax levy. I think another thing that's important to understand is preliminary bills versus actual. So if your tax bill for last year, let's say it was $4,000, the preliminary bill this year would be, the first half of the year would be $2,000. So they basically take half of last year and just move it across. So the first quarter would be $1,000, the second quarter would be $1,000. Then you do the whole calculation that I just spoke about, and now you come up with the total tax bill for the year. So if now, let's say it went from, your taxes last year were $4,000, let's say, just to make it easy, they went to $5,000 for the year. Well, you've already paid $2,000 or already been billed for $2,000. Now you have $3,000 left. That means your third and fourth quarter would be $1,500 each. Yeah, so that goes up. But then if you move to the next year, now your tax was $5,000. So you divide that into quarters. So where quarter 3 and 4 of this year were $1,500, quarters 1 and 2 of next year would be $1,250 because it'd be the $5,000 divided by 2 again for each quarter. So I think a lot of people were looking at their third and fourth quarter tax bill and saying, whoa, that's what it's going to be like. It's like, no, it'll drop for quarters 1 and 2 of fiscal 27, but then it will go up again. So people really, what they want to look at is their tax bill, the total for the year versus the total for last year. And those are the two numbers to compare, not the quarter to quarter.
That is a really good point because obviously those, some of those bills will be a little bit of a catch up for, last 2 quarters of this year.
Mr. Chair?
Thank you.
Thank you for that because, just the average American legislature bill when it's going to be the same all the way around, not realizing that halfway through the year we have that recalculation with the assessments and such like that. That might be a topic for your next video broadcast or something, just explaining that.
That's actually a resident emailed me today, so
okay.
they want to do that. Because another thing that goes on to the third quarter bill, as Katie mentioned, is if there's a water lien. or a sewer lien, or a sewer betterment.
Yeah.
Those will appear. So that can push that number higher as well.
Yeah.
A lot
So,
of factors.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.